Hey, I hope you're doing well today. And today I want to show you how you can make your very first AI agent, even if you have no experience at all. So let's get into it. I'll show you how to get ChatGPT connected. I'll connect a memory as well for your AI agent. We'll get emails from Gmail and a simple calculator as well. So once you've logged into n8n, you want to open up your workspace. Now, after you open up your workspace, you can see all your projects here. What you want to start with is just creating a new workflow. So we click that. So you'll see here we have a add first step. Now, if we click that, this shows all the triggers. Okay, so I won't go too much into depth of each and every single one, but we have ones here that can trigger manually. You have on app event as well. So for instance, you might have a Telegram trigger. So any message that goes through to your Telegram bot is then received and would then trigger the workflow. We also have on schedule, if we wanted to run this, let's say every hour, or maybe once a day, once a week. But the one we're going to use today is just on chat message. And this allows us to chat directly within n8n to our agent. So you'll see all this open up here. You can just simply close this just by going back. And then we have a plus little sign here. And this allows us to connect something else to this chat input. Okay, so we're going to click on this and now we can see more options. So we have advanced AI, an action in an app. We can do data transformation and various other things. But for today's guide, we're going to do an AI agent. So we click advanced AI and then we have all of these options here, but we want to click the first one, an AI agent. Click that. So we can see straight away that we have the name of the agent. We have the type of agent it is. So you have tools, you have conversational, so on and so forth. Tools agent is pretty much going to be the one you're going to be using most of the time. So we can just leave that as default. We can change the name as well up here. So we can call this, let's say, we'll call it Ken. Okay, maybe you want to use your own name. Maybe you want to label it depending on the task that it does, right? The roles that it does. So it might be something that handles subscription. So you call it a subscription agent. If we come down here, we do have the options to require specific output format, but I won't talk about that in this guide because that might be a bit more advanced. And then we also have an add option to create a system message. So the system message is the message that the AI or the LLM is going to receive before it actually starts the conversation. So in this case, it might be the role of the agent, the type of agent, what it does, what it's specializing in, okay? So this is where we're going to come back to in a second. So we can click out of there for now. We can scroll around. We can zoom in and out, okay? So don't think you have to always be so zoomed in or anything. We can always zoom in and out. Now, the first thing that we'll do is add a chat model. And this chat model here, we do have various different options. I do love ChatGPT, so we will be using ChatGPT for this example. So if we scroll all the way down, we'll see OpenAI chat model. That's the one we want to click. Click on that. And I'll just move it over here just to get out of the way a little bit. Now, if we click on this, I already have a credential that's already connected, but I'm going to show you how to do this on your own as well. So when you're clicking in here, we create a new credential, okay? Now, how do you get your API key? So this is how you're going to do it. I'll show you how to get your own API key so you can place it in here yourself. So first things first, we're going to go and search Google for OpenAI API dashboard. Okay, so we can click on this. Now, of course, you're going to have to log in. So just simply log in with your own account, get it all sorted. And once you're logged in, you should be left with something like this. Now, where we want to navigate to is the dashboard. So click dashboard. Okay, we can create a new project. So let's just call this one demo YouTube project. So we create that. Now that we have that, we can scroll down to API keys. And here, all we have to do is just create a new secret key. We click on that, give it a name, just so you remember this key as well, right? What it's doing, what it does. So let's just name this main ChatGPT key, something like that. Everything else we can leave as is. Create secret key. And there we go. We have the secret key right here. So the secret key is not going to be available to copy and paste all the time. So what we want to do is we want to take that secret key, open up a notepad, okay, and paste it in there so that if we do forget it or if we need to retrieve it again, we always have it in a safe place. So copy that, Now I'm going to come over back to n8n. We're going to paste that key right in here, and we're going to press save. So once we press save, you should see that it's connected successfully and we're good to go. We have it connected. So if we come back here now, we can just say no to that. Now we'll be able to actually search and use different models by ChatGPT as well. So we can see right here where we have various different models that we can use, right? Now, for most cases, you don't really need a very, very expensive model, especially for things just like making emails, sending emails, replying to emails. I recommend using ChatGPT 4.0 Mini because this is not only very cheap, but it's also very fast and it's perfect for most use cases. So now that we have that selected, we can go back and now we can create the memory. So the memory here do have several different options. However, for our case and what we need, very, very simple, we can just use the window buffer memory, which is very easy because it doesn't require much setup, well, no setup at all. So it's very, very simple. So we can click that. Now, how this is working is that think about this as a little brain. It's a memory of your chats, right? So every time you're sending a message, your chat is being sent over to the AI agent, and it has a context window length of 5, meaning the 5 past interactions that you had with this agent, it will remember 5 messages that you've sent to it, okay? Now we can adjust this as well. Let's say we want to make it 10, let's make it 10. Now we can go back here, and just for myself, I like to move things around just to make it a little neater, a little bit cleaner as well. And now we can I'll zoom out a little bit actually. Now we can create a tool. Okay, so what are the tools used for? Well, in a really simple way, a tool can be like an app that your agent is using, okay? Just like when you're on your phone and you have all your apps, the tool is the apps that the AI agent has access to, okay? So we can click on tool, and for this case, we'll just do a calculator. So just simply search up calc or calculator in here and click on calculator. Now, this actually doesn't require any settings or anything. This is already usable by the AI agent pretty much instantly. Okay, so that's very, very simple. And I'm just gonna move things down a little bit here as well, just to clean it up a bit. There we go. Now we'll click on tool again. And this time we wanna search for Gmail. Okay, so we'll search on Gmail. And as we can see here, we have the Gmail tool. Now, for Gmail also has the ability to send emails, to reply to emails, to mark as read, to get your emails as well, right? So we have to make sure we're setting things right in this node as well, okay? So first things first is the name. What is the purpose of this? Think about that. What is the purpose of this actual node? Well, in this case, we want to fetch emails. So maybe we just call it get emails, okay? Get emails. Now, for the tool description, you always want to be setting these as well. So what is this node used for, okay? In our case, we want our AI agent to connect to this tool to retrieve emails for us. So we can say, call this tool to get emails. So now we're giving a description to our AI agent of what this tool is actually doing. And we want to be doing this for everything and all tools that we're making, setting descriptions, setting names, being very, very clear, because this is going to allow the AI agent to fully understand what every tool is supposed to be used for, okay? So here we can see the resource is a message. We can leave that as is. Now operation, since we're retrieving emails, right, we're not sending emails, this is where we want to change the operation as well. So we wouldn't use reply, we wouldn't use remove label, but what we probably would use is get many, okay? Now get many allows us to get more results, okay, rather than just one result from an email, because we might want to get 5, we might want to get 10 emails, you know, all our emails. So this allows us to also get several results. So the resources message, the operation is get many. Now this is also showing return all. This means if we click this, what it's going to do is actually return everything from our inbox, all the emails. But generally you don't want to do that, because what if you have 500 emails in there? You don't want to retrieve 500 emails, right? So we can just leave that as is. Now the limit is showing currently as 50, Now, sure, you could retrieve 50 emails, but I would suggest if you just wanted to get updates on the latest emails that you have, you might only want 5, okay? So we can set that as 5. We can set the simplify on as well, and then we can just click this little star button right here, click that, and boom. Everything is pretty much good to go, but we'll just have to connect our account. So this is very, very simple as well. All we're gonna do is create a new credential. Now, thankfully, in this case, we don't really need to have API keys and everything for Gmail, right? For other Google products and nodes, you will have to connect several other things. But in this case, for Gmail, all we have to do is just click sign in with Google. It'll open up another page. Click on the email that you want to sign in with. So when you come to this page here, we just want to check this box and then press continue. And then your connection is successful. So we can close out of that window and we can see here, account is connected. So we're already connected. So now if we actually test this out, I'll just move this over a little bit just to tidy it up a bit. Now we can actually test this out by clicking on open chat at the bottom here. And we can actually talk with our AI agent right now as well. Okay, so let's just ask it, get my latest 5 emails, just for an example, right? So we can see it going through the agent, it's going through ChatGPT, it's going to the get emails node as well, and now it's generating a response. And then there we go. We have all the emails here, 5 emails that is just retrieved from my inbox, okay? So that's a very, very simple way of doing that. But let's just refine it a little bit further just to make sure it understands completely of its task and role. So we'll go into the tools agent here, we'll click this. Now what we're going to do is we're going to set a prompt for the agent, okay? Now what I like to do, just to open this up because it's a very tiny little box here, is click on expression. We click this little arrow box thing here and this will open up another window. Now what I like to do and how I like to structure my prompts, okay, is what I like to do is this. I put 3 hashtags and I would type in role. Now, the role is where you're describing who this agent, who this LLM, who this AI is, right? So what is their purpose in life, okay? This is what we want to describe here. So let's just say you are an efficient personal assistant. Simple. But now we could change that as well if, for instance, let's say we wanted to make our agent and its role more aligned with a different niche, like maybe a personal trainer or something like that. Well, we could delete this here and we could say, you are a personal trainer with 15 years experience, something like that, okay? Now, these are very, very simple, I know. I would suggest expanding a little bit more on them, but I'm just giving you the idea just so you understand the role. But we'll delete this for now, and I'll just go back to what it was before. You are a highly efficient personal assistant. Then we want to come down here and make 3 more hashtags, and then we'll write task here. Now this is going to be what its actual task is on a day-to-day basis, what you're going to be using this for. In this case, it's only just retrieving emails and it's also doing calculations. So that would be its task, right? You will get emails and do calculations. Okay? Again, this is a very simple prompt, but I'm just giving you the foundation of how you build it up. Now we can go through with instructions. So now we can give the agent instructions as well on how to perform each action. So let's say we wanted to get emails. We can simply type get emails 1. Access the get emails node to retrieve emails. Output the response. Something as simple as that. You don't even have to have this for an AI agent that is this simple, but it's a good thing to know because once you start building agents which are more complex, you will have to have very specific instructions. So it's a good thing to know. Another little thing I like to add in here as well is extras. And this is where you can have a little bit of fun with it. So we can say, use emojis in your responses and be fun and energetic. And that just makes the responses all that more fun. You know, it's using emojis and it just makes it a little bit more friendly as well. And yeah, it's a different experience. And I'll show you as well how the AI agent responds after adding this in. So we can see here, after we add this in, we can come back here. We can save that. Now I can ask it, what's 3 times 927? So it's accessed the calculator, it's generating a response. Now we can see little emojis being shown in the response as well. So we have little emoji here, we have the answer here obviously, and a little emoji at the end here as well. So this just makes it a lot more fun to interact with your AI agent as well. If you don't want to use it, you know, it's up to you, but I just enjoy it, that's all. Okay, so now we also want to save this, right? We want to name it as well. So if we come to the top left, we can just double click that, select it all, and let's just call it My First AI Agent. And the name of this doesn't really change anything. This is just so you know what this workflow is when you're looking at your list of projects and you can see, oh yeah, this is my first agent. And you can click on that. Over in the top right, we can see the save button. Okay, so if we want to save this, we just press save and that will save the workflow. Okay, now see this inactive toggle switch here as well. So this is currently inactive. Now that doesn't mean it doesn't work at all, but it's not actively listening for events. So it's not actively, let's say I was using a Telegram trigger, right? And I wanted to send messages to my Telegram bot so that when it receives that message, it would activate the whole workflow and then give me a response. If it was set to inactive, it wouldn't be able to listen for those responses. I would actually have to activate it just like this. Now, if I activated that and I send a message to my Telegram bot, it would actually be able to pick up on my message and generate a response based on what I'm after. Now, if you are interested in learning a little bit more, going a little bit more in depth as well, I do have my own school community. I just made it last weekend, so it is very new. We just hit over 500 members, so that's really cool as well. Lovely group of people, awesome people, a lot of very knowledgeable, smart people in here as well. We have beginners, we have people in more of the advanced level as well, and also people in the intermediate level as well. So if you do want to learn a little bit extra and get one-on-one help with me, always feel free to join the school community. We're always very welcome for new members as well. And that comes to the end of the video. It's a very simple guide, it's a very simple AI agent, but I just want to show you how you can connect a few dots, make things work, talk to it, get a response. And my advice for you is start playing around with it, okay? Don't just look at this and just think, oh, I just have to make a calculator and a get emails node. No, start exploring, looking out a little bit further. Maybe you want to start sending emails. Maybe you want to start marking emails as read. Maybe you want to connect it to a database. Who knows? I mean, it's really up to you. So get inspiration, use it as a foundation, and continuously learn and improve. And in no time, you're going to be a champion in all this. I'll see you again next time.